On the eastern edge of Dry Creek Valley, tucked up against the Alexander Valley boundary, is a Zinfandel legend.
Lytton Springs Zinfandel is a wine that Ridge has been making since 1972. And it was kind of love at first sight.
Ridge's winemaker back then, Paul Draper, met flamboyant Cadillac-driving Richard Sherwin, who invited him to the vineyard to see about buying grapes.
Paul took one look at these old vines sitting in the rain and said, "I'll buy it."
While the original vineyard was planted years before, Lytton Springs was replanted in the early 1900s on St. George rootstock, which is more resistant to pests.
The oldest vines there were planted in 1901 and 1910 by a person who was planting this vineyard for the Simi winery, which had been around for, maybe 20 years before that.
Like many old Zinfandel vineyards, Lytton Springs has more than just Zinfandel planted, a trick that can add to a wine's spice and character.
There's Zinfandel, there's Petit Syrah in the swales, there's Carignan, and some mixed whites. Every fourth row and every fourth vine is a Teinturier variety, mostly Alicante Bouschet, but also Grand Noir, and a little bit of Petit Bouschet. We found one vine of Pinot Noir, and so here in Dry Creek, home of some of the best Zinfandels in the world, there's the oldest Pinot Noir vine in California.
When older vines die, the caretakers of Lytton Springs choose to honor the variety and vision of the vineyard's original planters.
We've kind of gone back to the future, and some of our newer blocks where we're replanting. And instead of going into straight Zinfandel or straight Petit Syrah or straight Carignan, which are the three main varieties in our Lytton Springs Zin, we're mixing it up again. So we're replanting kind of what was there before.
Many of Lytton Springs vines show signs of aging, but rather than replace them, vines are tended through their golden years.
Some of the most picturesque vineyards are flaming red in the fall. And that is virus. That's a leaf roll virus. We don't really want leaf roll virus in our young plantings, but when we have an old vineyard that's giving us such quality and we're happy with the quantity, then we let it be. There's a reason why this vineyard has survived everything that it's gone through, everything that it has seen in its 100-year life.